I've been having all kinds of issues with my car, and I've made it no secret. My husband actually hates my car. He wants me to get rid of it. But there's certain things about my car that I just love and I don't want to get rid of. So despite the tire problems and the fact that we have to get a new wheel and there's all kinds of issues with that, my windshield has also been really bad lately. Like, I've got a crack that spans the entire windshield and a couple little bullet holes here and there. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them. So since my husband had been driving my car for me, he got fed up and he's like, you need a new windshield. So he actually made the appointment for my car, got a new windshield yesterday. We went to go pick it up. And as I was driving home, it was like, whoa, I can see everything. I can see things out of my windshield. This is amazing. And I get home and I'm like, we don't need a new car. It's like I have a new car. This is amazing. So Payne, I know you have a cracked windshield right now too. Highly recommend getting the new windshield because it's a whole new world.
Funny because I picked my grandma up for like a Mother's Day dinner the other night. And when I tell you that woman lectured me about my windshield crack and how messy all the bugs were on my windshield, she was like, you can't see. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
And so she didn't make the appointment or pay for my windshield, so it's going to stay that way until I can get it handled.
Well, hopefully your insurance covers it because a lot of car insurance is like free windshield replacement, which is what ours is. So I was like, yes.
Okay. I'll have to make a claim and then I'll take your advice, Kyle, because I do need a windshield. It's really bad.
I wasn't like, I've had windshields get replaced in the past, but this one was particularly bad because where the crack was, when the sun would shine in it, it would reflect and kind of like shoot into my eyes.
Oh,
yes.
You guys make me horrified.
It like literally falls right in our line of vision.
Yes.
It's so bad.
It's like, wow, this is amazing.
Why, with all the, if I sat down with your husband, we go to the pros and cons through our point of view of your car. There's a lot more cons. Now, to me, there's one pro to your car for you and your lifestyle. Is that the reason you want to keep your car, the HOV lane?
Yeah, well, that's not the only reason.
But what else? Because why not take another car or the car you had before or a different car?
There's many reasons why I will not get rid of my car right now. I have it paid off right now.
Okay.
So that I don't want a car payment.
That's huge.
That's,
Right, but your
that's
husband's
probably the biggest one.
But your husband's like, it seems like he doesn't care about that. He wants to get you a new car.
He doesn't care. I care. I'm the saver in our relationship. He's the spender. That's the biggest one. I can ride in the carpool lane whenever I want, all by myself. The acceleration in that car is pretty amazing. I can start the car from the app whenever I want. I can keep the car like temperature on in the summertime. It's key. Like if I run into Walgreens to grab something really quick, I can just keep the temperature on and I get back in the car. It's nice and cool.
But can't you do that with any car?
No.
What do you mean no?
I don't have that in my car. My car's not even push to start. I still have the key.
Right, but like my car,
electric.
if I park my car and I leave the air conditioning on, which I did all last summer.
Then will you leave the keys in the car?
No, I put it in my pocket.
Then your car's just running.
What's your car doing? Not running?
Not really. No, it's like it's like on battery mode.
It's electric.
Battery
Bookie,
mode.
bookie, bookie.
Yeah. There's a lot of things about it. I'm like, you know what? No.
Okay, but then your husband came here yesterday because his key wouldn't start your car. The key to your car that he had wouldn't start.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, it's kind of sad, and it's very nice of him. But anytime I have an issue with my car, he gets so fed up. He ends up being the one that has to like take it in to get it fixed and stuff. So it's like I'm blissfully like, it's fine. It'll get taken care of. It. He's like, I'm the one taking care of it. So I'm just grateful that I have him.
car
But yeah,
you
no, I
have-
don't want to get rid of it.
The car you have, you know how sometimes like before this car, you would come home and he'd have a new car for you.
Yeah.
Different car. This car, did he get for you or did you say, I want this car?
It's funny because he actually took my last car. The car that I was driving, he now drives.
Right.
And I was like, I just want something because gas prices were insane. And I was like, I just want something. I drive so many miles a day that we got the electric car. And I really wasn't expecting to become attached to it in any way. I was expecting to probably not really like it. But hey, it saves us on gas for a while. And I really enjoy it. So I don't want to get rid of it.
Hey, that you say a lot there. Like if I was your husband, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah,
the
what do
car.
you
We
do?
just got to deal with all these other issues.
And now you fixed all the stuff, so it's fine.
No,
If you
not
get
all
a flat
the
tire, you can't go to a normal gas station and put air in the tire. If you get something wrong, you just can't go to the auto body shop. You got to go somewhere special.
But now I know that if I get a flat tire, I can just go on the Tesla app and they come to you. She
yeah,
was retired for
that's
you.
so
I didn't
nice.
know that before. That's why we went through that whole fiasco.
I was at my doctor's office a couple weeks ago, and I saw a lady with a Tesla, had a flat tire, and there was a truck out there, and they were doing whatever they're doing. I was just to myself like, electric car. Rich Barra went through an emotional day yesterday. Was it emotional with your daughter?
Woo, boy, I started crying at like 2:30 yesterday. Just when my daughter sends me a picture like, don't forget to park in the blue parking lot because I want you to get a good seat. And that started me off. I was a mess the whole time.
Because she graduated.
Because she graduated from high
Or
school.
I thought maybe because it was a blue parking lot.
Yeah, not because of the blue parking lot. But it was so cool because a lot of her friends have been through some stuff. A lot of her good friends. Like one of her buddies, her dad passed away not too long ago. So she had a picture of her dad with her at graduation. And that leveled me too. It was so cool, though. I don't know what it is. I didn't cry when my son graduated. But I think it's because my daughter's moving away, too, you know? Look, I'm starting
I
now.
can hear you. You're getting emotional.
But anyway.
Yeah, the graduation part to me wasn't emotional. It's them going away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wait till you take her to New York and leave her there.
It was even hard just hugging her on the field after the graduation. Like, oh, this is it. Here we go.
Yeah, because it's a huge milestone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness, you're getting ready to go out into the real world now.
And it really for my family, too. So she is the first Barra, anyway, since my grandparents moved to America to ever go away to college. She's the first one that's gone out of state to college. So it's just a big deal in the family in general. And then when it's your own kid, you get a little caught up.
Maybe she'll freak out and not want to go.
I think she's pretty determined. I mean, she got into FIT. That is a really difficult school to get into.
She's going to do great. And I'm not one of those. I mean, if you build your kid up their whole life to go spread your wings and fly away, you can't say, I hope you don't. You gotta back it up. So now's the time. But it was a very emotional night, and thank God Stacy was with me the whole time because she was being funny and trying to lighten the mood. My wife was just keeping it kind of chill and taking all the pictures and all that stuff. So a great night. Congratulations to all the seniors of high school everywhere, all around the valley. Proud of y'all because you had to come through the pandemic and all that to get graduated. So
is this the first class?
I don't know about that.
Everyone graduating right now didn't get a graduation
In 8th grade?
at one point.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's what that was.
Man, wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's like they've been through it. But it was kind of cool. During graduation, Audrey was sending me notes on her phone the whole time. I'd say something out loud, and she would text it to me. I'd be like, oh, man, the band sounds like they're a little off. So Audrey sends me a note. Did you hear the cello? It sounded a little off. I'm like, oh, that's my kid. That's my kid. All right, I'm good. I raised her right.
Priorities.
So it was the last day of school yesterday for my son Dutch. He's a junior, going to be a senior, and he's already, he's the senior class president. And yesterday I have my routines. One of the things I love to do now is I sit in my sauna that is in my garage. A couple weeks ago, we had a ping pong table that's been folded up in our living room for about a year and a half. So I said, why don't we put this in the garage? She goes, okay, great. So we put it in the garage. No one really played on it, but it was the last day of school yesterday. So I walk out into the garage in my underwear, like I always do, to go sit in the sauna. And there's Dutch with a bunch of his friends playing ping pong. And I was like, and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to sauna. I got some of it on video. But then I get in the sauna, and he had taken the speaker to the sauna and hooked it up to his phone. So instead of me being in the sauna watching my TV shows or listening to my music, I had to listen to his music. And he took control there as they were playing ping pong. And I was watching them. Like, they forgot about me. So I was like an animal in a cage. But I was like watching them. Like,
what a weird experience.
It was very weird. But I loved to see the joy that they had playing ping pong and the competitiveness. And I was like blown away because I would never have that. I played ping pong for 2 volleys and then I'm done. Enough of this sport. I don't need. And they're playing for hours. They were playing ping pong. Then, I think I've told you guys, maybe off the air, my routine is sauna, hot tub, cold plunge, and then I take off my underwear or my suit and I shower and I lay in the sun and dry off naked.
Yeah, that's a new thing, right? Being naked in your backyard?
Yeah, it's new. So I was in my backyard naked, laying in a chair, drying up, and all of a sudden I hear Dutch, like, they don't see me, but they come out and they're running, like, just like little kids. They're running, last one to the pool is like rotten. It wasn't rotten egg, but it was something cooler than that.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Right? And he's 17. Last one to the pool, whatever. And they jump in the pool and they climb up on the rocks. And then all of a sudden I hear, what the hell, Dad? Because I'm laying there naked.
What? What? You don't hear them coming out and like, get your towel real quick?
I didn't have a towel. So I hear them. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait until they turn and see me. And so I'm lying there naked. And then Dutch goes to his friend. Jamie said, don't turn around. Don't turn around.
You're such a little boy. Yeah, like the fact is, it's like you didn't cover yourself up because you wanted them to turn around.
Well, yeah,
and be
at
like,
that point,
how
I know, hey,
embarrassing.
this is
I
my
was
time.
mortified.
This is my house.
They already
First,
took
you're
over your
playing ping
sauna
pong
space.
in my garage.
Yeah.
This is Daddy's naked time.
So I get up, I cup my Franken beans, and I walk by I go, okay, guys, see you later. And I got to walk up the stairs naked.
That's funny.
Terrible.
It was
But how amazing is it though that like your house is the house that everybody wants to go and hang out at?
That was my wife's
that's
goal.
Amazing.
That was all my wife wanted when we got married and had kids. She wanted our house to be the house everyone comes to. And it's that house, and there's another house down the street that everyone goes to too, where they go to at night.
That's okay. That's the party house.
Yep.
At night.
Those parents aren't home.
Somebody's traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations to Audrey. Congratulations to every graduate. I had to say a quick story. When I was in college, I didn't have insurance. I didn't have any money or anything. And I cut an ad out of the paper to go get my teeth cleaned at the dentist. And I had a big gap in my teeth. And I remember the dentist going, if you ever get disgusted with your smile, he goes, I can fix this.
Strong language.
So he ended up drilling my teeth down and putting veneers on. And when he drilled my teeth down, I was mortified. And I was like, these veneers better stay strong. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Peyton was talking about how her veneers that she has are chipped or something. You went to the dentist. We went on the air asking, can anybody help? And we had a guy named Dr. Singh call us. Remember that?
That's
Dr.
right.
Singh was like, hey, I can help her. So apparently Peyton went and saw Dr. Singh yesterday.
Oh.
I did.
And?
I did. And it was a really great experience overall. I felt really comfortable with Dr. Singh and how he was like explaining things to me. When you walk into like a new dental office, like it's very nerve-wracking, especially it's like your mouth, it's your teeth, it's your face, so I'm already kind of weird about it anyways. I think anybody is. Anyway, so Dr. Singh, he's like checking out my teeth. He's telling me like his thoughts and his opinions. And he was like, hey, do you have like 2 hours right now? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I want to take these veneers off right now and get you in some temp ones and get your smile fixed. And I was like, okay, say less. So that's what we did. So now my new teeth, I have temporary veneers on right now.
Let me see smile.
Jeez.
Well, those look pretty good for temps.
How long will
They
those
don't look-
last?
These are on for about like 2.5 weeks before I go and get the permanent ones cemented in.
How do they feel?
Wait. So when they took your veneers off,
Yes.
did you have the little stubs that I was talking about that I had?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
And?
It was awful. I looked like that thing from The Lord of the Rings. Literally, that thing. Yeah, it was like my teeth looked like little nub stubs. And it was so funny, too, because I'm like waiting to get numbed up and stuff to like put the veneers on and whatnot. And I have these little nubs and I'm like talking to the dental assistant and it's like I had no 2 front teeth. So I have this list.
Okay, so wait. So the 2 front teeth are nubs or 4 front teeth?
It's only just my 2 front teeth.
Did you get a picture?
I did.
Can we look at it?
No.
Can we post it?
No.
Come on, baby. What if I gave you $5?
No.
How much money would it
So
take
embarrassing.
to post it?
It would take a lot of money. It would take like a couple $100 for me to post that.
What if I told you Dr. Singh sent us the picture?
No, you did not.
Did he really?
It's on our Instagram right now at John J. and
I'm
Rich.
mortified.
There it is.
Oh, no. I literally look like the gremlin thing from Lord of the Rings. What is that?
If you go to our John J. and Rich Instagram account, you can see Peyton's nubs.
So embarrassing. Oh, my gosh.
Man, if I ever lose my veneers, and I will take 1,000 photos like that. It's going to be humiliating, right? It had to be terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, I had them before, so I knew what it was going to look like, but it's always jarring. It's always jarring.
I mean, now they look good. Do they feel different?
They do feel a little different just because we did some gum contouring on like my top 2 teeth to like make them look a little bit more symmetrical and more,
Wow.
Pretty, I
That
guess.
doc's
I don't know.
good if he's gum contouring.
Yeah, so $1 million smile over here. Jeez.
Yeah.
Do they feel exactly the same?
Yeah, they feel fine right
They do?
now. I mean, it just like I have a little bit of like my gums are sore because I just got my teeth worked on.
I thought I heard a little like not a lisp, but some sort of
something like that.
Like a what?
Yeah, like
They
What
are
about-
not flapping away.
What
no.
about apples? Can you eat apples?
I cannot eat apples, so
It
you're
was
not going to
4
be able
hours.
to ask me that.
Oh, there are
anymore,
4
Rich.
hours. 4 hours.
That's literally how I sounded.
Well, if you go to our Instagram, you can see Peyton's nubs. So, last night, I'm in the middle of watching a whole bunch of TV shows, right? I'm watching Dark Matter on Apple TV. I'm watching Open Range on Amazon. And I'm also watching the NBA playoffs. I get a phone call, and it's Grant Inman, our videographer, our phone screener, if you will. And I'm like, why is Grant calling me this late? Did something go wrong? Or did he get answers to a bunch of stuff I was asking him earlier in the day? So I pick it up. And guess what? I'm the mystery guest on his podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. So we do, I don't know, we do 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, but something happened during the podcast because it was him and his fiance. And they're asking me questions about stuff. And then I was like, I think we all know Grant has giant nipple rings that he wears that he's had since he was 18, right? Underage. We've seen him a couple
He's
times.
been
on the
pretty
show.
open about it.
And we've seen him. We've done stuff where he's, oh wow, man, you got your big nipple rings.
Giant.
So his fiance, if you remember before Grant was dating his fiance, he would wear different colored shoes, right? And she got rid of that right away, right?
Yep.
So during the podcast, I say to her, I go, hey, Kate, how do you feel about Grant's nipple rings? And all of a sudden it got quiet. And Grant was like, whoa. Grant was like, we've never talked about this before. How do you feel? Oh my, it got really awkward. And then she's like, she doesn't like him. And he doesn't, now it turned into like a little debate.
Oh, wow.
Like-
You started a premarital fight?
They're getting married in less than 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. And I think that's a big conversation.
It
right?
is,
For
yeah.
sure.
How did it end up? What happened?
Well, I think I'm kind of like I've snuck in. I feel like what's the thing? I'm grandfathered into the system. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like we've already been together for 5 years, so she doesn't know me without nipple rings. So like I am what I am.
but she doesn't like him.
You know what? I think maybe she was showbizzing it up a little bit. I don't know.
Or maybe she was
Right, she
100%
didn't
real.
mean she didn't like it.
That's what
Okay.
I'm choosing to believe was that she was showbiz. But then, we literally were. The reason it got quiet was because I literally just stared at Caitlin and was like, I'm genuinely curious what I've never asked her if you enjoy these or like the idea of them. And she doesn't. She's just not a fan. And then we had a discussion about afterwards. We in the phone call with John Jay, and then probably for 5 or 10 minutes, she says, well, these are other options that you could look into for nipple rings, like different type of fixtures.
Because I said at the wedding, he should have a pocket hole and then put the ring on his finger and then put a new nipple ring on.
Like instead of her sliding it
Yeah.
on my finger, it just
It's
goes in the hole. Yeah, that'd be cool. But
What happens if you take the nipple rings out? What happens to your nipples?
Closes up.
I don't know. It's been so long now.
Once you do it, you can never go back.
It's been 20 years.
Don't do
celebrating
it.
the 20th anniversary of my nipple rings.
Keep them in.
Yeah, dude. I think I'm going to. I have to.
Like, can you imagine you as a grandpa with big nipple
Yeah.
rings?
Plus, piercings are so cool right now. Right now.
Yeah,
They're getting
man.
cool again.
But I don't know, because then that also it brought into question like all the other things I do that I have never asked if she likes or not. So now I'm questioning everything, John Jay.
I mean, to get married and find out that your wife doesn't like something on your person, like that should be a conversation ahead of time.
Well, and then you brought up another thing about getting out of the shower. See,
oh yeah,
yeah. My fiance after we're on a walk after the podcast, and she was like, "Why did John Jay bring up my mom so much?"
That's just John Jay.
I said,
"Ask the best question."
What did I say?
You said, Grant, if you were home and you walked into the bathroom and your mother-in-law was getting out of the shower and you happened to walk in and see everything, would you tell Caitlin? And I said immediately I would call Caitlin and be like, "Oh my God, you'll never guess what I just saw."
And I was like, but what if she says she dropped the towel and says, okay, Grant, now if you saw me naked,
What?
you got to be naked.
And then-
Or she turns around and bends over to get the remote to the TV.
Why do you
Where
ask
does
these
this
questions,
where
John
did
Jay?
this turn?
and then
So disturbed.
And Caitlin,
Hey, he called me out of the blue.
Yeah. And
I was
then-
like,
That's not an excuse.
Yeah, Kate thought about that the rest of the night, and I was like, "Babe, if it ever happens, I will tell you immediately."
But
Don't worry.
the
love you.
mystery guest really got in your head.
Mystery guest, yeah.
I'd be careful with that mystery guest.
they call off the wedding. Why? Because Grant saw my mother naked. You did? No.
It's a hypothetical.
And then he breaks up with her too because she breaks up with him because he saw mother naked, and then he breaks up with her because she doesn't like his nipple rings.
You're like the opposite of Inception.
Well, now's a safe time to tell everybody this will be on this week's episode of How to Become a Terrible Person, featuring John J. Van Ness, aka Mystery Guest.
Gratuitous plug.
Is it the free episode? I hope.
Yeah, you're on the free episode.
I'm not good enough for premium.
You just said, "Oh, good," and then you give him
Because
crap.
I want our audience to get it for free, but at the same time, my ego's crushed. So this artificial intelligence AI is like taking over. Everyone's talking about it all the time, right? And then Kyle, your husband is in the voice world, right? He's always doing technology, and he's doing like you'll hear the Jonas Brothers, and that's her husband. Mm-hmm. So how did he get involved with this AI thing?
Okay. Well, we brought it up yesterday because Scarlett Johansson wants to sue ChatGPT because she felt like they cloned her voice and started using it. And I was like, I mean, it is possible for them to do that because my husband did that. So he's been working with this AI company to actually clone his voice. And he found that it was as easy as taking some clips that he had already in his computer of me and popping it into this machine. And now what he can do is he can speak into his computer however he wants with inflection or whatever, and it comes out as my voice. So it goes in as his voice and it comes out as mine.
It's freaking nuts when you hear this. So what we're going to hear is her husband saying it first and then fake Kyle.
So he'll say something like this in the computer.
Good morning, John J., Rich, and Peyton. How are you this morning?
And it comes out like this. Good morning, John J., Rich, and Peyton. How are you this morning?
Whoa.
So then he likes to have a little fun with it.
And that's 3 things you need to know on John J. and Rich.
And that's 3 things you need to know on John J. and Rich. Okay.
Right.
But he takes it one step further because, we're currently arguing over my car. It's had a lot of problems. He wants to get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of it. I like it. I like all the features. So when he sent me these clips, he decided to add in this one. You know what, Ham? You were right. It's time to get rid of my electric car. We've had far too many troubles, and frankly, I don't feel safe driving it. All of those fancy little doodads and the technology that I thought I enjoyed, I just think safety trumps all of those things. So, yes, again, you were right. Go ahead and sell the car. I didn't say that.
What the hell? I mean, we've heard you for years and years and years, and it sounds like your inflection even.
There's a little difference. I can't place it, but there's a little
I told
difference.
him it sounds more newsy, like if I were an actual news anchor. It sounds too serious.
You know what's missing? It's like your spirit. There's something missing, and that's
it's
it.
close as hell.
Except for whatever, what did he say? Do little things?
Doodads.
Doodads. That is something that you would say. So you could convince me that's Kyle.
Yeah,
but you're right, John J. There's just something a little off.
Your soul.
Yeah.
That's what it is. There's something that you can't. There's something that the heart isn't there in your voice, right?
But it's so close. It's trippy. Like the technology trips me out so much.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy where things are going to go with that and how easily I think people will be fooled. Deep fakes, it's scary. So I can kind of see how Scarlett Johansson would be like, don't do that because you can make me say whatever and people will think that's actually me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Explain Ham again.
Oh, Ham is my nickname for my husband. I don't really know how we got there, but that's what I call him. And sometimes it's like, hey, Ham. But usually if he's far away and in another room, I go like this. I go, hey, Ham. He hears it, though.
So that reminds me of a fun segment we used to do called Drunk Kyle's, where Noah takes audio of Kyle and kind of slows it down and literally makes her sound drunk. And he has the part when Kyle was explaining or one time when she called him Ham. And I don't think I've ever heard her sound more wasted than this.
If I can't find Scott, this is how I call for him. I go, hey, Ham. Every once in a while, they'll mimic me doing that.
Man, I'm a sloppy drunk.
It's so funny.
That is just nutso, man. That's nutso. Speaking of relationships, Richard, you say your wife has a special way of speaking to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I know she's had to decode a lot of my speak, but I've really had to decode her speak. Like, so there's people working in the house, and she'll send me a note from across the house, be like, too many people here, I can't. So then she'll follow up with, like, I can't. I'm like you can't what? That means get him out of here.
Yeah, she can't deal.
Yeah.
But I've realized that seems like that's total. But there's another level of I can't, and that is like I cannot. If you get a I cannot note from her, that means you better get your butt up there and get rid of the people in the house.
Yeah, that's like for real. She's serious at that point.
You know what's funny about the way you communicate with your wife is Peyton had a run-in with you guys, right?
I'm convinced that you guys don't communicate.
I mean, they text in their own house.
What happened?
You guys, like, let me just start this off by the fact, like, Rich and Stacy as a couple are some of my favorite people ever. They're the best people to hang out with, best people to sit down and have dinner with, right? Constant conversation. So Rich and I were talking about how we're going to be in Vegas for Grant's wedding. And we're going to be there the day before. So Rich is like, we should get dinner. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. And when Rich is really serious about something, he like kind of gets down low when he's telling you about it.
So true.
I'm actually down low to begin with.
Yeah. You like come up high, then you come low. And he goes, hey, so you know what you should do? You should text Stacy and ask her to make us dinner reservations for when we're in Vegas. And I looked at Rich and I said, yeah, of course I will do that. But then it dawned on me and I'm like, that's your wife. Why am I texting
You
your
should
wife?
text your wife.
Well, yeah, but I figure like if you guys do it, it'll happen. If I say something to her, she'll wait until the night of. But if you guys are involved, and plus we were going to go to something that we canceled going to.
That's true.
And she had the keys to that kingdom where I did not.
I don't have a problem texting Stacey. I love texting Stacey. There's always some meme exchanges. It's always fun. But anytime Stacey texts me, it's like things that she could also ask you that she just doesn't.
Oh yeah, she doesn't really communicate.
It's so weird. Like if Stacey got a text from Peyton going, "Hey, let's go to dinner in Vegas. Can you make reservations at this hotel?" She'd be like, "What am I, your assistant?"
Right.
Like it's such
No,
a weird.
Stacey would make the res, right?
Right, but you asked Peyton to text Stacey
Right.
to
Yeah,
ask
like-
her to make a reservation.
like-
or you could be, hey, we're going to go to dinner with Peyton and Kadeem in Vegas. Can you get us a reservation at here?
But I figure if you're involved, then you guys will talk about where to go, and everybody
get it.
agrees on it.
Hey, I'm gonna text Stacey and ask her to make reservations for us. Don't get me wrong.
Georgie's right. She's going to be like, Kuma, your assistant, you make the reservation. You want to go to dinner?
She
No,
won't
I
be
would
like
be
that.
smooth. I'd be like,
She'll be
hey, so Friday, what are you guys planning on doing? Maybe we should do dinner. And then maybe she'll be like, okay, I'll make reservations.
Yeah, she's got hookups that we don't have.
I love you guys. You guys are so funny.
But yeah, we don't communicate a lot unless I get one of those. I cannot.
Later, you're going to get a text from Stacy. Peyton just asked me to make dinner reservations. I cannot.
1047 Kiss FM. It's John Jay and Rich. It's time for War of the Roses. You think someone's cheating on you? We're going to help you find out the situation. So let's say hello to Dominic. Dominic, what's your situation?
It's kind of a weird one. A couple weeks ago, my girlfriend and my best friend and I were all going to go out, for some drinks at a bar, and my buddy doesn't drink, so it's like, okay, you drive. We get into the vehicle, and his Bluetooth picks up with my girlfriend's phone and immediately starts playing Olivia Rodrigo, like immediate connection. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. Why would her phone link up immediately to his car?
I mean, that is kind
She's
of
never
weird. That's a
never been in it.
process.
Yeah, you have to you have to go in there, you have to program, and she had turned it off, and she, try to play it off right away, and they start trying to make jokes, and I was like, no, wait a second. Like, it bothered me all night. I was like, no, her phone linked up to the car immediately. So I think something's going on here.
Okay. I think, what's an important part of the story is which Olivia Rodrigo song was being played.
Of course you do.
Because then it'd be like, oh, it's Vampire. Oh, they're fine. Okay. So you want us to call who?
I want you to call up my buddy.
Okay, what's his name? Martin. So we're going to call Martin.
Martin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to call Martin.
I want to see if we can trick him.
And we're going to see who he sends flowers to. So he could send flowers to your girlfriend. That's what you want to see.
Exactly.
Okay, and her name is what? Do we listen for her name?
Ileana.
Okay, man.
All right, hold on a second, okay? We'll get him on the phone. You stay quiet. We'll get him on the phone right now.
Hello?
Hi, is Martine available?
Yeah, this is Martine.
Oh, perfect. So, Martine, it's kind of your lucky day. My name is Penny. I'm with a new company. We're called JJR Flowers. And the whole point of my phone call is so that we can get more people to know about us. So, you've actually been chosen to be a micro influencer for us, which means you get to send our most romantic bouquet of roses to whoever you want. And it's totally free for you. We just kind of ask that you post about us on whatever social media platform you use the most.
Okay. Is this like a catch? What do I have to pay something, or why?
No,
why
I
are you
mean,
picking me?
we can't really hunt you down if you don't post about us, but it gives us a little bit of marketing. And like I said, this bouquet of roses is so gorgeous. It is literally so romantic. We call it our pure passion bouquet. So think of someone that you want to send that message to. And then I don't need like personal information like credit card or anything like that, but we will send it out with a nice card, and you let me know what you want to write on the card, and we can actually get them sent out today. So it's a win-win for everybody.
All right, I guess. What do I have to lose?
Exactly. So like I said, we're going to send it out with a card. You let me know the message you want to write on it. Like I said, the roses they send a message on their own, but this is your chance to get a little fun, flirty, dirty, whatever you want. Don't be shy. I've kind of seen it all. Give me that message, and then we can go name and address, and we can get them sent out.
All right. You know, let's keep it simple. How about just you're the best part of my days?
I love that part of my days. Do you want like a love, Martine?
Sure, yeah.
Cute. Okay. And then we can exchange socials in a minute, but who do you want me to address this to?
It's going to be to Liliana.
Oh, my God. Okay, cool. Yeah, so now I'm going to have to beat your ass.
What? Hello?
Hey, it's me.
Hello?
Martine.
Yeah, Dominic, what's up?
Hold on, Dominic. Let me explain, Martine, what's happening. Martine, you're on the radio. You're on the John Jr. radio program. Dominic thought there was something going on between you and his girlfriend.
Dude, unbelievable. Every chick that you've dogged out, and I always had your back. And this is how you repay me. And we have conversations about this. And you're messing around with my girl behind my back, bro. Unbelievable.
I don't want to do this like this, but don't act brand new. You've never been good to Lily, and you just don't deserve her. So, you know what? I don't feel bad for you at all. She was already going to leave you, and she just didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Whoa.
So,
whoa.
That's
Double
how it
down.
is.
Really? You're the lowest scum, bro. You realize that, right? You realize
Nah, man.
It's
you. That's why she's leaving you. This has been a long time coming.
How long you guys been friends?
Since we were kids.
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Bro code. It's the bro code. You're breaking the bro code.
This is beyond bro code. This is like, brother. This is so. What would I expect from you, man?
Dude, you've been acting like an absolute jerk for years. It's a long time coming. We should have. Honestly, we should have stopped being friends a while ago. But you should have broke up with Liliana way sooner than that. This is all coming when it's supposed to. Sorry if it doesn't feel good, but
you're a sleazy coward, bro. You're a sleazy.
Call me whatever you
behind
want.
my back. No
Call me
guts
whatever you want.
whatsoever.
Sure.
Bro, when I see you,
great.
I'm gonna throw hands, dude. I'm not even gonna fucking hesitate.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna call the cops. We're not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not
do
gonna
that.
see
Do
you,
that.
Okay.
Do that because you're a coward. Typical of you. You got no honor.
Cool.
Would you guys be willing to
go
come in the studio and put on sumo suits and fight with big inflatable sumo suits against each other in our studio?
Listen, man. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or what, but
I am trying to be funny.
Again.
Would you be willing to have Liliana be maybe our ring girl?
John Jay. Oh my
I
gosh.
don't think you're helping a sensitive situation.
Wait, Martine, you said this has been a long time coming. Have you been hooking up with Liliana for years?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe 2 years now.
That's brutal.
How could you do that to your friend?
It's like, you know why I think this stings so much? It's like, for me, I think like best friend breakups are worse than like relationship breakups. And since you were kids, this just hits a different level of betrayal.
And Dominic, didn't you say that Martine kind of dogged out other women anyway?
So often. Like, just he's literally a slime bucket, and I have stood by and I've always found a reason to have his back. Like, oh, well, she was this or this girl was that, and he's a cheater. He's a cheater. That's what he's doing now. He brought her into it. He poisoned her. I could feel this. I could sense this.
Wow.
And all I needed was to hear a song play. Wow.
All right.
I'm honestly shocked it took you so long.
I feel like you guys have some conversations to have with Liliana.
Yeah. That too.
No, he's not talking to her.
All right, you guys. I think sounds like there needs to be a guy trip. Make up.
I don't know if there's any going back.
All right. You guys got some. Well, anyway, she's cheating on you, so that's what you wanted to know, and it's happening, man. Thanks for being on the air, both of you, with all four of us, and two of us. All right,
John Jay and Rich. Rich is sick, day 2. Peyton is sick, day 2. In the studio, filling in for Rich, Nick Johnstone.
Let's go. Let's have fun today.
Kyle and me in here rocking away. Okay, so listen to this. Remember I told you I backed in my car into my son's car?
Yeah.
Right, so I immediately, there's some certain problems you have where you have to do it immediately or I think the problem gets worse. So I immediately took Jake's car, my son, to Orlando Auto Body, and they fixed it within 2 days. So they texted me yesterday, say, your car's done. Why don't you drop off your other car, which is my car? So I'm like, okay. So I'm driving to Orlando Auto Body to drop off my car and pick up my son's car, and I realized after I drop off Jake's car, I don't have a car.
Right.
I have nothing to get to work, and I ain't going to Waymo, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, I have a friendship with Pat Hickey at Peoria Ford. So I call Pat Hickey. 10 times in a row, he doesn't pick up. I text him, he doesn't pick up.
That tracks.
And he's like pretty generous when I need a car. So I felt like I know he would let me have a car if I needed it. So I happen to know somebody that works for Peoria Ford, not at the top level, not at the middle level, but kind of low level.
Sure.
And I'm like, hey man, where's Pat? And he texts me back, goes, oh, he left at 1. He's been in meetings all day. I'm like, I need to borrow a car. And he goes, okay. He goes, what do you need? And I go, I'll take anything. I just don't have a car. I just dropped my car for the shop. And he goes, I have this, or this. I go, just whatever. It doesn't matter. And then he texts me and he goes, okay, it's all set up for you at the dealership. Come get it. And I'm like, I don't have a car. And he goes, oh, okay. I can have my guys drop it off. So my son Dutch had a basketball game yesterday at 7 o'clock at night. At 6:10, Peoria Ford is dropping off a car for me. I get in the car and I go, thank you so much. I was in a hurry and I leave with the car. Take Dutch and my wife. And I realize I've literally stolen a car from Peoria Ford.
Good to have friends in low places.
So at 8 o'clock, I call Pat. He picks up. He goes, what's up, buddy? I'm like, oh, hey. And I'm sitting there thinking, how do I present this to him? I go, can I borrow a car? I'm driving in his car. Can I borrow a car? And he goes, yeah, sure. What do you need? I go, anything. I had to take my car to body shop. I backed into my son's car and messed it up. And he laughs. And he goes, sure, when do you need it by? I go, a few hours ago. He goes, what do you mean? I go, I kind of got it already. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, I stole your car.
I totally thought you would be like, I have your car.
If you ever want to see your car again.
Right.
Or it's like you give the exact VIN number and make and model of the car they gave you. And you're like, this is the one that I want.
You got it. And he dropped. Anyway, he was really cool with it, but I literally went. I felt so bad, but I needed a car really bad. You know what I mean? So I got it. So that was my day yesterday. So with Rich not being here, Nick, how did that affect you yesterday?
Oh, it affected me all kinds of ways, you guys. It's one of those things, and I'm happy to help any way I can, you know. But when we're two people down, it does affect everyone.
Especially you.
And so, you know, we had some meetings that ran late yesterday, and before I knew it, it was 2 o'clock. Now, I get here every day about 4:15, 4:30, and so by that time, I'm like completely dragging, and I realize I have not ate today. Like, I've had like little snacks here and there, but I've not had like an actual meal. And then when I get home, I'm so tired. I'm going, the nap is the priority, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I take my nap, I get up, and it's 4:30, and I'm like, well, I can't eat now because it's almost dinner time. So I go and pick up my kids, and my wife is supposed to get get back from a business trip last night. Her flight's delayed, and so I like to eat dinner with her. So I feed the kids and then wait for her. Then by the time she gets home, it's after 7 o'clock. Now we have to put the kids to bed. And as she's putting my daughter to bed, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I have to find something. And so she's getting, the teeth brushed and going potty and whatever else. And so I'm like, I sneak to the fridge. I'm like, there's a jar of pickles in here. And when I tell you, I ate an entire jar of pickles in just about 10 minutes. I cannot express how quickly those pickles were ingested into my body.
Were you eating them frantically?
Yeah, it was like I didn't want her
like
to
you
know.
won a food challenge on Survivor?
Yeah, I didn't want her to know for some reason, even though it's like she can definitely smell the pickle breath after it's done. But it was just like I got to 2 or 3 left, and I was like, well, can't just leave these in here. And so I just took them down too, and then lived the rest of my night in regret.
I do that every day with the big tub of Chobani. Every day. I after we talked about it one time, and Kyle, because you have one tub that lasts you like a month, I do a tub a sitting. And sometimes I'll get 3/4 of the tub down, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I almost finished this tub. I'm not going to do it. I put it back, and then 10 minutes later, might as well just finish the tub. And I finish the tub.
Body yogurt.
It is, but I eat frantically like what you're talking about when I go off the rails. I love to mow down a bag of shredded mozzarella cheese.
Oh my gosh. You know what's so funny is I don't remember. Where was the last place we were all eating together?
Vegas?
Vegas. At Grant's wedding at dinner time. Afterwards, Peyton goes, I've never seen someone eat so quickly. I was like, oh, that's just John Jay. That's how he eats.
It is. It's
But
an
with the
experience
mozzarella,
watching
though,
you eat.
I put my hand in the bag, and I'm like, Cookie Monster. I'm literally Cookie Monster in there, man. It's freaking nuts. I love that, it's like you're starving and you can't function, and this is me. My computer real quick.
C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's how I eat
That's
mozzarella. I did something yesterday, and I've done it a couple times. I'm just so happy with it. I got my head tattooed again.
You did?
Yeah.
How many times have you done that?
This is the 4th time, I think, because you got to do it like painting a house. You do it in, what's the word, layers or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, my hair was thinning, and it's called SMP. And I was there from 1:30 to 5. And they just take a tattoo, however you get a tattoo, and they cover in your hair, and it makes your hair look thicker. And I freaking love it. And I wish we discovered this years ago. And I know, there's a guy that works there, Damon. He was 14 years old, and he got alopecia. And he got his head tattooed, and now he does it for a living. And in September, he wants to pick a few people out, and the kids or people that have alopecia, and tattoo their heads. It literally looks like you have hair. It's fantastic.
If you were to shave your head right now,
I would look like him. I think I have all they tattoo it looks like you have a shaved head.
So it looks like you've just got a really short crop top haircut.
Yeah. So wherever your hair's thinning, if you're, I know there's a lot of women that have thinning hair, but the thing is, if you're a woman and you have alopecia, if you do your hair like that, you might look like you're a guy or something, right? But if you have long hair, you have patches, they color it in. It's amazing. And the place he's called AZ Scalp Doctor. And his wife is AZ Brow Doctor. And they have an office right there next to each other. It's this huge med spa. It's just really cool. And so I just highly recommend it. And the guy's so kind. Francisco's his name, very kind. So I left there. Remember I crashed my car into my son's car? And I had this vision in the middle of the night about Orlando Auto Body. Right? Remember I said, because we have commercials with them. I took my car there to go meet with them. Again, another kind human being. It was just such a nice guy. He gave me the quotes on my son's car and my car. He's going to have Jake's car fixed in 3 days. And
Is it going to be crazy expensive or not bad?
It's not bad. I mean, it's right around what I thought. But I think if I'd gone to the dealership, it would have been way more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should give them a shout out too. Orlando Auto Body, and get your car fixed there. In fact, they have an auto body shop that's just for Teslas. Just Teslas. Because apparently they do, when you get a Tesla crash or something, it takes forever to get the parts. So they went and bought all these Tesla parts, hundreds of them. So that if you have a Tesla and you need body work, they get it done right away.
Oh, that's cool, because it's a quick turnaround, which you probably don't get.
Right. Whereas you take it to other place, it might take 4 or 5 months to get your parts in. So it's pretty cool. Orlando Auto Body. And there are 2 shout outs for me.
Dope.
Anyway, so anyone see that video of Peyton eating the hot dog the other day?
I did not.
It was the most delicious looking hot dog. It was a Mexican street dog. It was you called it an elote dog.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was driving down, kind of like over on this side of town, over in Tempe, and I was driving down a side street, and I saw this guy like tucked away with a hot dog cart, and I was like, I think I want to. I've never stopped at like the side of the road and gotten a hot dog before. You know, I see it all the time, and I'm like, geez, those street dogs look so good. So I decided to go for it, and I got this elote dog. He said it was going to change my life, okay? It was a spicy hot dog on this, like, yummy, soft, fluffy white bun, and it had all of the fixings for elote, right? So it had corn, it had mayonnaise, it had cotija cheese, it had tahine, it had jalapenos on it, and something else that he threw on there. But, y'all, I was scared. I was like, I like elote, but I don't know if I like elote on like a hot dog.
Everything on a hot dog is delicious.
He said it was going to be life-changing.
I saw you eat it.
Y'all, it was pretty dang good.
Yeah.
It was pretty
I thought you said it wasn't life-changing in the video.
It wasn't life-changing, but the hot dog was pretty dang good.
I have stopped at those carts my entire life, and I love those hot dogs.
Yeah.
I love them. Like, I was so excited for you. And then when you're like, it's not changing my life, I was like, oh.
But, like, I'm sure I would get down with, like, a Sonoran dog or something like that. It was a real... I finished it, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't like, oh, my gosh, this is the best thing in the entire world. Like, the best hot dog I've ever had, it was in Hawaii, like, right off the airport, and it was, like a thicker hot dog with cream cheese, and that was it, and it was, like, so good.
Like a street cart.
Okay,
hot dog,
so...
those are delicious.
But the thing is, now you're also trying to get in shape.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could get in shape and eat elote dogs.
I don't think you can, no.
What was your workout?
I biked 5 miles yesterday.
Wow.
It's really good.
Not like on like a real bike, on like an electric bike, but I felt good. I was like, heck yeah.
Wait, outside on an electric bike, cruising around?
No, like a bike.
Peloton bike?
Yeah, something like
From
that,
where?
like a Peloton at my apartment complex.
Oh, okay.
I just like went and tucked away, and it was so nice. I was like, why don't I do this more often?
That's good.
Yeah, and I felt really good. And then I followed it up by getting Taco Bell and having top ramen for dinner.
Taco Bell and top ramen.
So I don't know if my workouts cancel each other out. But I'm going to bike 5 miles again today.
Wait, so you did 5 miles, you got off the bike, you're like, ooh, that was tough, and you went to Taco Bell.
Literally.
And then you went home and had ramen.
Yeah.
You're a rock star.
Any edibles involved in this story?
No.
What's new?
It's summertime, right? Mm-hmm. And my mom said, hey, why don't the kids come up north with me for the week? I was like, okay, that'll be super fun for them because they've been just staying at home with Scott. Scott works from home and like all they do is watch TV all day. And I'm like, I think that's good for like a week of summertime. And then after that, it's like, I want them to be active. I want them to be doing things. And at my mom's house, they're always doing things. So she came to pick them up yesterday. And when they left, I walked in the house and it was like all quiet and empty. And I was like, oh, this is kind of sad. Like, I don't know if I want them to leave for a week. This is really sad. And then I look around and I'm like, hold on a minute. I can do whatever I want right now. And I'm like skipping around. I'm like, so many more activities. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take an uninterrupted nap that can be as long as I want. If I wanted to, I could just go to sleep for the rest of the night. So I took an hour-long nap. It was pretty amazing. Then I woke up, and my husband came in, and he was done working. He's like, do you want to go out to eat? I'm like, what? We don't do that. Do I? Yeah, let's go out to eat. So we went out to eat. Like, we literally don't get out of our house ever. And so we were like at the restaurant. We looked at each other. We're like, hot date. Hot date on a Tuesday night. Like, when does this ever happen? And then I just like, because Peyton hates this, but Scott and I sit next to each other if we're sitting in a booth. And I just like started looking at the other end of the booth. And I was like, it'd be really cool if the kids were here.
That's day one.
Little bit of summer adjustment.
Yeah.
When do they come back? Like in a week?
Well, we'll go pick them up. So we're all going to Vegas for Grant's wedding this weekend, and we'll pick them up after we get back.
You know, it's such an emotional roller coaster too, because when your kids are as old as mine, you look back and you miss those times. But I will tell you, my wife yesterday. Remember, I was telling you guys how the dishes were a mess.
Oh yeah.
Well, yesterday, I cleaned the whole kitchen up the other day. Yesterday, a disaster again. and she like had a meltdown with like all three of my boys. She's like, everybody needs to clean up after themselves. When you eat something off dish, you clean it, put it away. I cannot do this anymore. You know what? Why don't you all go back to college? All go back to college.
They've been home for like a day.
And then, so then I was like, okay, I'm going to help you. So I helped her do the dishes, and then I had to do it again twice. I hate doing dishes now. I've never done them in my life except for the last 3 months. We did the dishes when I got home yesterday, and then after dinner we had to do and it's like dinner's over, and then she goes and does the dishes. I'm like, can we just relax? Like, can we finish eating and watch TV and chill and then do the dishes?
That sink mocks you.
And she's like, I don't want dishes in the sink.
Yeah, me either.
Let my food digest. You know?
I'd rather just clean it up as you go. And I do this all the time. I say, I guess I'm the only one who can empty the trash. Just me. Nobody else knows where it is. Right?
If I was in your house, I would say, yeah, you are the only one that empties the trash.
So I've talked to Stacy. I'm like, does anybody empty the trash? She's like, well, when you close the door of the trash can, you don't see it or smell it. It's a beautiful thing. I'm like, but it's like stacked full. Nobody freaks out about that. She's like, you can get way more in there. You just gotta push it down.
Have you ever seen that? There's a TikTok of like, it's like men with trash, women with trash, and it's like. The women, it's like we just keep stacking and stacking and stacking, and the guys are like, "What the heck?" Yeah, like, but it still fits. It's still in there.
Mine just makes it way into the garage, and it piles up and piles up and piles up. And then my wife has a breakdown, and then somebody's got to take it away, put it in the alley. Peyton, you were saying your brother is living his best life.
Yeah, he is. So I have a little brother. We're 15 months apart. So he's 24. I'm 25. And I called him the other day. I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Do you want to hang out on Sunday? He's like, yeah, sorry, I wish I could, but I'm going to be in Brussels, Germany for a month. I'm like,
a month?
Cool. Love that for you.
How does that happen, and how does he not communicate that with you?
I don't know. I just don't know anything that goes on in his life. He goes to Coachella. He goes to all of these fun things, and I find out by Instagram.
Doesn't he work at a restaurant?
He does.
So he can just take a month off of the restaurant?
Basically, yeah, I guess so. If you put in enough time, and he has people that cover his shift.
And why Brussels?
I don't know. He has friends there. So when he graduated from ASU, he was able to take a month off and go and travel Europe. He traveled with my grandma. He traveled solo. He did a whole bunch of stuff. So he made a ton of friends. So he's back in Germany, and I think he's going to go to Amsterdam or something like that too to go see his new friends.
Is his new friend 6'4" and full of muscles?
Probably. Probably.
Is he
I
from
wouldn't be
Brussels?
surprised.
That's really cool.
I know. I'm jealous of his life. He's like rich uncle vibes for real. So I love his life.
That guy's rocking.
Yeah, I know.
Right. It's just I know a guy. I was texting with a friend of mine who went to Spain 2 days ago, and he texted me. We were texting this morning, and he's like, "Food here sucks. Got a pizza and it sucked." Like
Spain?
I don't think Spain is like known for their pizza.
No.
But what do I know? Jonte and Rich sitting next to me right now is Grant Inman wearing a wedding ring.
Oh my goodness!
It's so weird. Look at you. That ring.
I love your ring. It's awesome.
Yeah, a little golden tungsten action.
That's big.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty cool now.
What's tungsten? Tungsten checks in. Was that a movie
Type
about
of metal.
Yes. My wife picked it out. Right, guys? I can do that now.
Your wife.
I can do Borat.
Yeah.
My wife.
So Grant is married. You got married Saturday. We were all there in Las Vegas. You're home now. Is there anything different? Do you feel different? Is there anything, what's it like being a newlywed? We haven't had one on the show in a year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. 5 days in Las Vegas.
That's plenty.
I'm hurting, guys. I'm feeling great. Like, I feel optimistic about life. But I'm like, I feel like I listened to the show yesterday, and everything you said about the
throat, the smoke.
throat, I am dying.
I think that's because you stayed at the Paris Hotel. That's where we stayed. I was there for 8 hours. And my throat was a disaster.
You can still hear it. You hear it in both of your voices.
It's like there's a couple of hotels in Las Vegas that they don't let smoking in, and I can't remember what. And I talk
Park
about
MGM.
Park MGM, no smoking anywhere in there. And I feel like the hotel you guys stayed in might be like
No,
they had a lot of smoke in
definitely
there.
had smoke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What also doesn't help that everywhere you go in Vegas, you have to scream talk.
Right.
So you're just like yelling at people for 5 days.
It's a lot of stimuli.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds to me you regret getting married.
Yeah. No. You know what? We saw the pictures. We got pictures last night Obviously, they're all watermarked because we didn't pay for the exclusive picture package. Yeah. So we were just looking through them, and we were like, "This was a really nice wedding."
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
It was a great wedding. You did it, and I thought your pastor or whatever was a great guy.
So good.
I mean, for Vegas weddings, everything you ever heard about Vegas weddings where there's Elvis, there's this. You guys made it really classy, in the
Thank
hotel.
you,
Yeah,
and I just want to say this publicly. I know I've told you all privately, but thank you so much for coming. Like, really. I wasn't expecting to.
Of course, we would not miss
when
that.
I invited you. It was thrilling to just you guys, because it was like my parents and you guys on the groom side.
So we are the only people in your life.
100%.
Because there was no best man, no maid of honor, right?
Did you guys notice how big the pastor's ears were?
Yeah,
Yes.
huge. They're very
Huge ears.
They were so cute though. Like they totally fit his personality and his vibe.
He should work
goes-
at Disneyland. He seems like a caricature.
Oh my gosh,
100%.
yeah. I was going to say he could be the friend of the up guy.
That's what Blake said. Blake said he looked like the up guy.
The thing that's wild is there was literally no preparation for the ceremony. He just walks up to me, like Kyle and I were talking or something. It was something in the front, and somebody just goes, "Is Grant here?" And that was the minister.
It was the first time you met him?
First time I met him, and it was 2 minutes before the ceremony started. He goes, "Here's how it's going to work." He goes, "I'm going to pull on your heartstrings a bit, but we're going to have a good time." And I was like, all right, Vaughn.
God, that's so much better than that. I got married at Catholic church. It's like you got to meet with the priest. You got to do classes.
Yeah, no.
All you
Oh
did
my
was go to Vegas and get married. Wow.
We showed up. It was sick.
So anything different now? Like, I mean, you guys got home yesterday. You spent the night. You sleep on the same side of the bed.
I got to, I got to see Caitlin naked for the first time.
Nice.
And I'll tell you
about
what,
time.
I'll tell you what, guys, it was awesome.
Right?
A plus.
Does it match the pictures we have?
Yeah, 100%.
Is she taking your name?
I believe so.
Should we call her Grant from now on?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that something that you talk about?
we were talking about that, and then we were like, we should just take a different name. We should just pick a random name and change both of our last names. Like Koresh. Mr. and Mrs. Koresh.
gosh.
Caitlin and Grant Koresh, right?
I saw on social media some people's weekends. Peyton, Kyle's. I saw Kyle golfing. I saw your son had a really cool haircut.
Did he? I did that.
You did it with the lines? He's got the lines in the side of his head?
I do his hair.
Oh,
really?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's
guys.
cool. And I had to go back. Is that Easton? Dang.
I know.
Really
He
cool.
looks different now that he's 7.
And then I saw Peyton slamming alcohol and partying, which she said she wasn't going to do anymore.
Oh my gosh, I was not slamming, but
You weren't?
no, but it was fun.
You weren't drinking out of a bottle?
Okay, but
Okay. They were pouring a bottle of tequila down your
it
mouth.
was a pool party.
Okay.
Oh, well, then that's different.
But I wasn't like slamming shots back or anything like that. But yeah, of course, there's always a little tequila bottle that goes around. And I told you guys recently that I'm done with tequila, that we broke up, and it sealed my decision this weekend. I think I'm actually allergic to something in it. I seriously do. Because there's no reason I should get like that violently ill over just a little bit, you know? I don't know.
Well, what's just a little bit?
Like the one bottle pour that John G saw on Instagram. I stayed away from it. It really scares me now. So
Like it made you sick?
it made me sick to my stomach. And it's like, I know it wasn't because I had too much of it, because I stayed away from it. So I don't know.
How was the party? What was
It was so fun. It was so fun. It was at Suzette's house. So I got to hang out with her the first time that since she's not been pregnant that we've got to like hang out and have fun. So it was a blast. Kadeem came out. We had so much fun. I actually like got home, knocked right out. It was like 6 p.m. and I didn't wake up till 9 a.m. the next morning.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I was like, I love not having a dog. I love not having kids. I can just sleep my whole day away. So it was pretty nice.
You know, my wife was out of town. My son Dutch had a basketball tournament in San Diego, so she went with him there. I stayed home with my 2 older boys, and because of that, she doesn't think we're responsible enough to take care of our 6 dogs, so we take them to a babysitter, and it was awesome not having dogs. It was awesome. I love dogs. I love my dogs. I'm excited to have them home today, but when they're not there, I have I can have the blinds open, because whenever I have all 6 dogs, whenever anybody walks in front of my house, it's chaos. I had the blinds open. I was just chilling out with my 2 oldest kids. Got to go to the movie, saw the Planet of the Apes movie.
How is it?
I thought it was really good.
Oh,
Really
good.
But then it was like my son Jake and I are kind of like, for lack of a better phrase, slobs, where Kemp, my middle son, is not. So he will like eat a dish and wash it and put it away, right? Whereas our sink's piled up. And that Kemp said, he like kind of lectured me a little bit on cleaning up. And I was like, bro, your mom went to your house and it was the grossest thing she's ever seen. He goes, those were my roommates, not me. I'm like, okay. But it was
he's not wrong. It's funny that you just throw it back at him while you admit that.
I know. He's right. I'm learning. Before my wife came home, I put all the dishes in the dishwasher, and that was chaos.
I thought you just used like one single plastic spoon when everybody's away.
I used a paper plate when everyone's gone, right?
Yeah.
In fact, my son Jake had a friend over yesterday for dinner, and he had the balls to take a real plate. I was like, I had dinner last night. I used a paper plate because now I know what it's like to wash the dishes. And I'm like, I look at him and go, did Jesus just grab a real plate? What the hell? I'm going to have to watch that. It was chaos, man. So then, anyway, so Kemp was like, Dad, I go, those are your dishes too. He goes, there's not one piece of my DNA on any of those dishes. I almost did it before and after, but I didn't want to I didn't want Blake to see it before she got on the plane coming home because it was bad.
I'm weak at the DNA, though, because it's like his DNA is all over it if it's you and his brothers.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have somebody cleaning to come by and make sure that all of it's taken care of before Blake gets home?
Gonna have someone clean? No, me.
Oh, man. You can't handle that.
I did it.
Oh.
She didn't complain or anything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, except the dishwasher, very, very full. Anyway, but Kyle, what happened? I saw you golfing. I saw you.
So I told you guys we made a summer bucket list, which because it's just like all the activities we all want to do in our family. We wrote it down. We literally wrote it down on a piece of paper. And then this weekend, my 9-year-old Addie, she decided to do a big poster board. So now we have this bucket list poster board hanging up in the living room. And we decided to check some things off the list. So Top Golf was on the list. We did that. She wanted to go to Cookie Rush. So we did that. And we're like, we're on our way. But there's a lot more on there that it's going to be.
Oh, okay. I was saying, what if you finish it all? First weekend of summer.
No.
Time to go back to school, kids.
I don't know if we're actually going to be able to finish it, but it was like Saturday was so busy because it was Easton's birthday party, and then he had his last flag football game, and then we had people over, and so Sunday, you guys, I was like a zombie. I didn't get out of my pajamas all day. I was just chilling.
Good for you.
And then it was great because you're like, oh my gosh, there's another day.
Yes.
Like we have Monday. This is great. So yesterday is when we did the bucket list items because we actually had some energy.
That's
that's
awesome.
fun.
Is there anything on your bucket list that you're really excited about?
I want to go up to Greer. I love Greer.
That'd be
It's
fun.
like the cutest little town. So that's the one thing I put on there that I'm like, I know it's not going to happen unless I make it happen. So that's what I'm looking most forward to.
That's awesome. I saw a bunch of the videos and stuff. It was good from both of you. Peyton's was a little out of control. It was like two different lives.
For sure.
It's like Kyle with her kids hitting some golf balls, hanging out at a party, cute little kids smiling, taking pictures.
I saw
Peyton chugging a tequila bottle.
That's what she should be doing right now.
I saw you at 9 a.m. on a Saturday and you had a drink.
That I did. It was an espresso martini and it was delicious.
And she's allowed to.
I know. I'm just saying. I didn't say she wasn't allowed to. I
Worked
just
the
said,
weekend.
there's literally,
25.
we're all at different stages and it's fun.
Yeah.